Welcome back to the Daily Crypto Market Update. BTC got a major fake out in the last, 9-10 hours? All of a sudden, out of nowhere, 11 p.m. my time, and then midnight, BTC drops 3%. Literally out of nowhere. What the what? Honestly, this has been the most frustrating and annoying market ever. Now, a couple of things you got to keep track of, and you have to understand too. Starters, starting with this first, the slow line, which is right here. It's the slowest moving average that comprises of the TBO, the trending breakout indicator, is still flat, although it's kind of pointing down a little bit. But the reason why I focus on this more than this thick pink line right here is mainly because the slowest moving average determines the strength of the trend. So right now, there really is no trend. It's basically flat. Now, the other unfortunate part is that whenever we're in a strong bearish trend, we get any sort of push up, the fast line is usually our first touch before we dip back down again. That happened back over here on the 3rd of November. It happened more recently here on Tuesday. Happened back over here. Happened back over here. So it's not really the best feeling in the world, is it? Volume did not meet the moving average. On-balance volume dropped lower because it was a red close. But the one thing that is interesting, and I will say that is at least a little bit of promise here, is daily RSI, which is the relative strength index, is going to be approaching overhead resistance, short-term overhead resistance. A push above this will be great for the market. But honestly, we just got faked out yet again. Super frustrating. On the 4-hour time frame, there are no other bearish or bullish symbols to pay attention to or letting us know that something could be changing short-term. On the weekly time frame, we still have a TBO close long, the blue diamond right over here. This is not a good sign to see. We saw one of these back over here. It did mark the bottom in March. This one marked the bottom over here in September. But honestly, I don't want to play that game. I just want to see BTC go right back up. But the main thing is that even though the market got super faked out, even Ethereum literally went right up, Burj Khalifa'd. Look at that thing. It's like perfect Burj Khalifa, then right down. The market is clearly being absolutely manipulated. There's nothing we can do about it, though. But at least it's not just absolutely dumping. So is that a good compromise? Stablecoin dominance on the 4-hour time frame pushed above overhead resistance. Not the best sign, but it's very short term, as in very weak resistance. So it is above it. It's pierced back below it. We'll see what happens. There are no other bearish reversal signs. The next thing we want to find is going to be one of these TBT bearish divergences or a close long, which I do believe will happen. Now on the daily time frame, because we saw a lot of volatility yesterday, it did close up green. It is here above overhead resistance. The slow line for stablecoin dominance, again, which is really important to keep track of, is moving upward, which means that the macro trend is bullish. We don't want it to be bullish. I also need to remind you that back over here, similar things happened where we had TBO breakouts, a big push, TBT bearish divergence, and it kept going up higher and higher and higher. The last 2 times that it reached max pain was the week of April, I think it was like April 9th of this year, and back over here, August 5th, 2024. So I don't want to see something like that. I don't expect it to happen, but we have to be quick to go, okay, cool, we're done. We're pivoting out. If we see more pain and stablecoin dominance goes back up inside of the zone, this is a zone of worry. Don't think of this as a bottoming zone, okay? This is a zone of worry. Now, Bitcoin dominance actually closed down red yesterday. That is weird. That is super duper weird because usually when Bitcoin has a pullback, we're going to see Bitcoin dominance drop with stablecoin dominance. But actually, what happened is that others dominance closed up. While Bitcoin had a red day, others dominance closed up, which is really weird. Now, on the 4-hour time frame, we need to be aware of a couple of things. Regrettably, there is a TBT bearish divergence cluster. This is not part of the TBO. This is a pro tier indicator available through the Better Traders Club subscription. This yellow tag right here is just a third red triangle, but we emphasize it by this larger shape and it changes color. So that way we're paying more attention. Now, the reality is that the slow line is kind of moving up. But this is a very, very bad signal. Ideally, we want to see a big increase here, and that will invalidate it. That's the only thing that there's really left to be done here. Bitcoin dominance has no signal like that. It just has this one back over here, and we haven't seen the price push back up. TOTALE50.D, TBT bearish divergence cluster on the 4-hour. We don't have a cluster here for TOTALE100.D. Instead, we're now working on a third. Are you serious? A third. Let me see if it's popping up here for others. Nope. A third TBO close short. What's the big deal? Whenever we see lots of these appear in a very short amount of time, that would be considered a cluster. The TBO Pro indicator, which I never show because I don't want people to be confused about what they're seeing, but it will make this one much bigger to draw attention to it. We've just started today's candle about an hour and a half ago, so anything could change in the next 22 and a half hours. But the main thing is that if we get a third one of these, this is confirming that I expect a lot of these low cap alts below the top 100 market cap spot to pump. Now, TOTALE50 does have a TBT bearish divergence here on the 4-hour. TOTALE100 has a bearish divergence on the 4-hour. The difference between the 4-hour and the daily is really simple. How many hours are in a day? 24. So if you have 4 hours, okay? So 24 hours is a day. A day. And then we have a 4-hour candle. So how many of those we're going to have? 6 per day, okay? Now, the reason why I focus on the 4-hour time frame for these early warning alerts is because it's going to happen 6 times. It's going to let us know 6 times earlier than getting confirmation on the daily. But things that happen on the daily time frame trump the 4-hour. The 4-hour, we should still be paying attention to it. It's still a big deal. But this right here is way bigger. This is way, 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 way more important than a 4-hour bearish reversal symbol. Now, OTHERS.D BTC, are you kidding me? It printed a second TBO close short yesterday. I didn't even see that yet. This is telling us yet again that others, low caps, and these are specifically coins that are below the top 10 market cap. These guys. So excluding the top 10, excluding stablecoins. This chart is on track to push up a lot higher, meaning that low caps, mid caps, and low caps should be outperforming Bitcoin over the next 5 to 6 weeks. I know the ups and the downs are really, really rough. The reality is that we should be trading all this crazy whippy price action because we can make a lot of money trading this stuff, and you don't need leverage to do it. I teach you how to do it in 15 minutes to financial freedom. This is the best course that you can start with. If you're more of an investor and not really into crypto trading, check out our courses on mastering assets that we've done in partnership with Kitco Media. And also, when you take 15 minutes to financial freedom, you get a 1-month trial to the Better Traders Club, which includes a ton of stuff, including in the traders here, the TBO indicator, access to lots of channels on Discord, which include alerts, notifications, trade setups, monthly watch lists, the Better Crypto Signals, the DCA backtester, monthly templates that you can use for it. Like, it's crazy. There is a ton of stuff that's included with it. It is a huge, huge value. So there are also links to sign up for Femex and for BYDFi down below. So go ahead and click on those. And let's keep going and pushing forward with today's video. So I got my own picks. You probably have your own picks. If you have coins you want me to check out, leave a comment down below. And if you haven't already, subscribe to this channel. Help me reach my target of 100,000 subs before the end of this year. It's slowly getting there, but let's get there faster. Help me. So if you have coins you're interested in, leave a comment down below. And I read every single comment for better or for worse. So let me know. I am reading. I am paying attention. Now, this is the only breakout chart to watch right now. Monero XMR is not available on lots of exchanges. I should add that. It's available on KuCoin, Mexi, trying to see, Kraken, Poloniex, Huobi. It's not available. Sorry, it's available on a lot of exchanges. And there's also perpetuals on Binance. So good for them. They put it back, but kind of. Anyway, it's It has this yellow flag because of these white dots. This is where the TBO gets its namesake from, the trending breakout indicator. These white dots are breakouts. So we expect there to be more bullish, explosive upside continuation when we see these white dots. That's what it's letting us know. Litecoin fell back deeper yesterday. It's still inside of the cloud. It fell below it a little bit, but the slow line continues to very, very gently, moderately pointing up. So it is macro bullish. The market's oversold, and yesterday's price action was just whippy. It was looking great until it wasn't. AMP, this one also has a TBO closed short. That's what this orange dot is right here. Oh, yesterday it closed the closed short. What does that mean? Well, when we get these orange dots right here, the diamonds, what we're waiting for is not to buy into the euphoria. We're waiting to buy on the dip. So this actually gives us an opportunity to take advantage of a chart that is having a bullish reversal, but buying after the retrace. So that actually gives us a better entry. So AMP, this one printed a TBO closed short on Tuesday. It hasn't touched the fast line yet, but it's looking like it's going to do that today. Mode, it touched it yesterday. So there we go. Now, for a couple of charts that are looking bullish, which have these green flags right here, Zcash, I shared yesterday. This chart, it looks like it's actually going to be doing a TBO springboard bounce, which is when an overbought chart that is strong bullish, which Zcash has been, has a moment of clarity, realizing, wait a second, this is really expensive. And then we get a sell-off, and it goes right to the fast line, which is a thick green line right here, only to bounce off the fast line right back up to TBO resistance. Now, if we get this actual move, it's going to be like a 50% move. I took a long yesterday after filming the video because this is why I love using the TBO. It gives me confidence to join the trend. Now, it does not mean that I'm just going to be taking profit only up here. You guys know that I take partial profits on the way up, and you should too. ICP has not had a TBO springboard bounce yet. But despite the redness yesterday, it actually closed up 7%. And what's crazy is that it's showing some semblance of support here at historical TBO resistance, which is now going to be flipped to support. This is a chart that was going absolutely bananas crazy ever since the 1st of November. It shot up 232%. Now it's having its moment of finding support before it pushes up higher. It's a great sign for further continuation for ICP. Filecoin, this one, it's a stretch to call this a TBO springboard bounce because it was not previously bullish, but it has retraced basically all the way back down to the fast line. XPL dropped a lot on Tuesday, 15%, but yesterday it was gathering strength, which is impressive. Honestly, it is. Even though there's a lot of volatility and volume is still bearish, RSI is not really that strong. The TBO, it's bearish. I still expect plasma to bounce from here. So I'm still watching, waiting, holding, being patient and waiting. Aster actually had a pretty good day yesterday, pumped about 12%, and it closed green. And look at volume. It exceeded the moving average. And on balance volume and the moving average right here is starting to curl upward as well. Aster could very well start moving back up here to overhead resistance, or the 618, it'll probably intersect with both of those levels. Morpho, this one got real quiet over the last couple of days. This is really, really, really weird price action. So it's clearly being artificially supported. And I mean, it should go up higher, but we'll see. Again, my target has been 260 or so. MYX, this one had two TBT bullish divergences on Saturday and also on Monday. Still waiting for a bullish reaction from this one. Seam, crazy price action on Tuesday, pumped 67%, literally came all the way back down. This is a chart that would be a great candidate for an aftershock pump, which is what I teach in 50 Minutes to Financial Freedom. Fuel. This one has had some crazy price action recently. Had these TBT bullish divergences. Yesterday had a really weird pump up 26% and went right back down. But look at all of the crazy pumps that are happening on the hourly. This is how you can make a lot of money trading without leverage. You don't even need leverage to trade stuff like this. You just need to know how to trade it. Zcash, why is this up here twice? That's super weird. Okay. Starknet. Now, this is one that I'm still patiently waiting on. It was starting to look good, and then it didn't. So it's come back down here to historical, very weak 4-hour TBO support. It's really oversold. So now I'm just watching, waiting, and honestly expecting this one to bounce back up higher. We got to wait and see what happens. But this one is very much frustrating to me. So it's blue because it has 2 TBO closed longs, which are bearish reversal warnings. Now over here, we have these red flags. These are to help us identify some crazy price action. Sora literally just pumped in the last, or rather the opening hour of the day, all the way up here, 31%, which is nuts. Zora. So isn't this weird though? Because I'm pretty sure, I feel like I talked about this one either to the club or to you guys recently saying, just watch it. Like these are coins that people have forgotten about. No one really cares about anymore until they go like, oh yeah, that one was really good. Muse continues to fall lower and lower. It is almost down here to TBO support at 4.215. The actual level is 4.229. It says up there. So it's still looking real strong bearish. There's probably some bad news. It's not a good reaction, another 11% yesterday. Be careful. ATH, Ether, this is one I'm still patiently waiting on. Volume's dying down a lot. But what's really weird is on-balance volume is just kind of slowly moving up. Really, really weird. RSI is moving up as well. So relative strength and on-balance volume are both telling us, pay attention. The price is still strong bearish below the TBO. It's still below historical TBO support here and also here. I still expect this one to give us some fireworks. Bitcoin Cash, this one had some crazy volatility. And again, if Bitcoin does well, Bitcoin Cash should do really well. Vice versa, if Bitcoin does poorly, Bitcoin Cash usually does really, really bad. Aerodrome, this one has retraced all the way back down to previously broken resistance. Super frustrating, but technically, this is a bump and run setup. Here's a test, pierce, didn't do it. And now we actually have a push above, so there's our bump right here. And the next thing we should be expecting is a run. We'll see if that actually happens, but it is an interesting setup. Now on to some requests. Again, if you have coins you want me to check out, leave a comment down below. NPC is having a really good comeback, which is impressive. Note 3 TBO close shorts here. Price is moving up really well. It's actually above historical TBO resistance here at 0.019. The next target to watch is here at 0.033. Stellar Lumens XLM has these 2 TBT bullish divergences. The next thing I'm waiting for is a TBO close short like we got back over in July. And it just happened to pump 100% out of nowhere. Cookie, this one was asked for a lot a couple months ago and it's just dead. And now it's starting to come back in the comments, which is really interesting. The one good thing here is that it has come down to price-based support, even though it pierced it. Now, losing this would be devastating, and we also have to be real. Like, this is a very strong bearish chart. On the 4-hour time frame, there aren't any real exciting bullish reversal signs yet. Volume is kind of sort of coming in, but not really. RSI, on-balance volume is looking bullish, but we're not seeing a bullish reaction just yet. But if it does happen to pump and push, consider using historical TBO support levels as take profit targets. Okay? So this gives us, we'll remove this guy because it's confusing. So it gives us about 4 targets. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. And if you're going to do this, like I always say, you want to go just inside of these support levels. And these aren't going to be perfectly balanced in that, like if you're doing like 25, 25, 25, 25 to all of these, you're going to get a weird total take profit target. If you're using Ultradia, it won't be a really amazing level, but there's no guarantee it's going to pump up 300% or so. So it pays to use the TBO to get some visual feedback and information on where you might want to be considering taking profit. RBNT has been pumping a lot recently, which is pretty crazy. Volume actually looks really good, to be honest. It's a little bit over 5x the volume, but this has broken the downtrend of volume here for this coin, which is a really good sign. So this is a sign that it could be getting started. Note that the moving average is starting to wake up as well. It's starting to move up. It's still really early, but this chart is massively bearish. It's in bullish consolidation, but it's massively bearish on the daily and the weekly. So be careful. ARC, this one is holding above TBO resistance. It's also holding above the daily cloud here, which is a sign of being strong bullish. The only weakness that I'm seeing is in terms of RSI, which is putting in significantly lower highs. Come on. There we go. Volume as well has fallen off a lot, even though the price is holding up right now. So just pay attention to that. Crow, this one fell back down on Tuesday and it hasn't bounced back yet. Not seeing anything really positive over here. On the weekly time frame, we have a TBO close long, just like back over here, and Kronos dropped a lot. If we were to really want to get our zoomed out perspective, I mean, it could still fall a lot further, which you don't want to hear, I'm sure. But if we were to do sorry, excuse me, it could still fall like another 26%. It has a TBT bullish divergence on the daily. And this is the first one it's seen since way back over here in March. But it's pretty bearish. Chain on Gate.io. This is a massively low volume coin. Be extremely careful. On this day, $8,277 in volume. This is a massive risk, massively low cap coin. I mean, look back over here. Yeah, this is the daily time frame. The 30-day moving average here for volume was only $400. You could still trade it if you have a very small amount. This is where the TBT-based quote currency converter really comes into play, because the idea behind this is actually for A/B trading, which is what I'm talking about. So the idea is that you take the yellow line right here, and then you want to use no more than 10% of that in your total order size. So because it has about 13K, you don't want to exceed $1,300 in the order book, because you want to make sure that your order does not stick out like a wall. Again, this is stuff I teach in the courses, specifically the 50 Minutes Financial Freedom course. Now, if I want to help you feel really bullish, seeing two TBT bullish divergences here, after seeing multiples of these signals, we see at least some sort of bullish reaction. So it could push up higher, but it's very risky. PYTH, nothing really happening here. It's still in strong bearish mode on the daily, on the weekly, on the 4-hour. Yeah, we have a TBT bullish divergence, but it's still pretty rough. DOT had a TBO close short on Friday. It has since retraced back to the fast line, and it's fallen back down to being in strong bearish mode. The only other good thing happening here is that volume kind of picked up. It's drooping again. It really needs to see more exciting volume in order for it to really push up higher. It's also, I mean, it already broke below support. So this is, if it doesn't push from here, the regrettable part about all this is that it already put in like a listing low of what? 50% down here to $2. And unfortunately, the 10th of October showed us how low it could really go down here to what, 64 cents. So if it gets a pump, the main thing to look at here is the weekly time frame. I wouldn't be greedy to look for $10. I would just be taking profit on the way up. But that's how I trade. You don't have to do what I do. But it's a very weak looking chart. Very, very weak, very risky, in my opinion. Okay. So make sure to click the links over in the description or in the pinned comments. Check out what we got on the Better Traders. And before you go, watch this video to learn how you can use the TradingView screener to find 3 different setups on 3 different time frames, so you can be shorting the market as we go down lower and we get these little victory laps up. So watch this video next. And until the next time, you know what to do. Stay awesome and stay in the green. Peace.